Welcome to episode 2 of 52 Weeks of Fire. This is Boston Barbecue, and today we're going to attempt to cook a braised lamb. I did this a few weeks ago in the oven, and I thought, why not give it a try on the green eggs? So what we're going to do, we're going to sear the lamb for a few minutes each side, and then we're going to use the green egg Dutch oven to then braise the lamb for about 4 hours. So let's give it a go. Okay, so we're just going to sear the lamb. It's very fatty, the lamb, so we'll see how we get on, but let's just get it seared for about 4 minutes. I'm going to shut this down, try and reduce any flare-ups. Okay, so after about 4 minutes, we're just going to give it a flip. Make sure you burp it because the temperature's quite hot at the moment. A lot of smoke coming out because of the fat, so let's just try and get this turned over. Okay, yeah, so looking fantastic. Lots of nice colour. And then we're going to leave that again for another 4 minutes on that side as well. Okay, so after about 4 minutes each side, we're just going to pull it off now. Okay, colour's looking great. Okay, so now we're going to prepare the sauce. So I'm going to put the crock pot back in, to the Dutch oven back in, sorry. We're going to get a little bit of olive oil. And I've already pre-chopped 2 onions, 2 carrots, and 3 bits of celery. So they're going to go in. Then we're going to sort of soften these up for about 6-7 minutes, and then we're going to add some extra bits and pieces, so come back in a few minutes. Okay, so after about 6 or 7 minutes, I'm going to add 6 or 7 cloves of garlic. Just spin across a little bit, so just give them a minute before we start adding some tomato paste. Okay, so we're just going to add 2 tablespoons of tomato paste. Give that a good mix up. Let that cook through for probably another minute or 2. Right, then we're just going to deglaze the pan with about 500 millilitres of a really good red wine. This is just a nice Shiraz from Aldi. So let that cook out for about 3 or 4 minutes, just to burn off some of the alcohol. And then we're going to add the meat back in. Okay, so it's nicely reduced down, so we're going to add a couple of sprigs fresh from the garden of rosemary and a few bay leaves in there. Now, we're going to set the lamb back into the pot, okay, nicely, and then I'm going to add some chicken stock to about 2/3 of the way up. Absolutely perfect. Now the tricky thing I'm going to do now is I've got to try and get the deflector plate back in. So very carefully remove this. Put the deflector plate back in, and that should bring the temperature down a little bit. We might be a bit hot for a little while. And then we're going to get the Dutch oven back on. Close it up and then set the vents relatively low, probably about 1 centimetre open each. I reckon that'll be about 140, 160, but it will take a while for it to sort of settle down to that temperature because we did have the charcoal very hot to do the sear. And let's come back in 4 hours. Okay, so we've had about 3.5 hours. The temp started a little bit high, so I've not cooked it for as long, and it's sort of set at about 160C. So let's have a look. Wow, that looks absolutely incredible. The sauce looks really good. Now, just to make sure you can sure it's done, just try and pull away some of the lamb. You can see there, it's pulling away really easily. Don't worry if it's gone a bit too far. We're going to lift this out, and then we're going to put it back on for 20 minutes just to kind of caramelise and crisp it off before we serve. So, yeah, excited for that. Okay, so the lamb has been resting for a little while. And what we're going to do is we're going to transfer it, and you can see it's already falling apart, which is absolutely incredible. We're going to transfer it to a separate dish. Okay, and then we're going to pour some of this liquid over the top. So I'm just going to grab a ladle and get some of this liquid over the top. A little bit more. Okay, and then we're going to bung it back in the egg. The egg's about 220 degrees. We're going to bung it back in the egg, and that is going to crisp up and caramelise for about 20 minutes, and then we're going to pull it apart. So let's come back in about 20 minutes. Okay, so we've had another 20 minutes, so let's have a little look. And yeah, look at that, it's absolutely incredible. It's all been sort of crisped up and caramelised, and now hopefully, fingers crossed, it should just absolutely pull apart. That is going to be incredible. Oh, absolutely amazing.